धन्यवाद माननीय झांगड़ा जी. माननीय श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमन जी to reply the discussion.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. The discussion on the supplementary demand for grants, sir, has been going on since yesterday. A lot of members have spoken on more on the budget per se, which is going to come from 1st April 2026, and I would think less on the supplementary demand for grants. So, without spending much time on points which are already answered in my budget reply, I will focus on those points on which many members have spoken on the supplementary demand. This has been extensively debated in the Lok Sabha. Here too, members have raised a few questions on it, so I'll focus largely on that, except of course highlighting the features of this current supplementary, which is the second one for this year, that it involves 61 grants and also a gross expenditure of about 2.81 lakh through all three, cash, technical and token supplementaries. So I'm not getting into the details of those in much of a specific detail. I highlight that we have given 57,381.84 crores for Economic Stabilization Fund, and then for defense services about 41,430 crores, essentially because we are paying the spectrum charges, which in any way will come back to the CFI, and also for the ex-servicemen contributory health scheme, for which we are giving 6,140 crores, which will benefit the ex-servicemen in their health requirements. So transfer to states is the other head which I'd like to again draw the attention of the honorable members. 37,886 crores as recommended by 15th Finance Commission, where local body grants go after the meeting of conditions by the state governments. It can be election related or any other. Health grants similarly, and also for UTs and UTs with the legislature on SASKI and also the back-to-back loans. Fertilizer subsidy, sir, is 19,230. I want to draw the attention of the Honorable House because this is only to meet additional requirements with the circumstances being what it is externally. This is for meeting any exigencies that may arise, 19,230 crores, particularly for getting ready for importing fertilizer for the aane wale Rabi crop. For the current Kharif, we are well equipped, we have enough of fertilizer, but from now onwards, they start bidding globally and procuring for the winter, that is November, December onwards, Rabi. For that, we are giving in advance now itself. And 5,000 crore is being given to Jammu Kashmir as central assistance to meet their developmental requirements. MSMEs always have a problem of enough credit reaching them. So through SIDBI, we are giving a 3,000 crore so that MSMEs don't suffer for want of credit. So the last one which I'd like to highlight is a token supplementary which is being given, but a sum of 30,000 crores is being made available from to the Employment Guarantee Fund, MNREGA, for all those earlier dues. So that's being provided now, and from 1st April, the G-Ramji bill, which gets the 95,000 allocation, which was announced at the time of the bill passing itself. So states which have had dues on MNREGA, which were questioning whether this money will be available, that money is being provided. So I straight go to talking or referring to honorable members who questioned or asked their concerns on the developing situation. I'd like to highlight the fact that India's economy today stands at a position of strength. We are able to look after even unforeseen circumstances. And just a word on how it has been managed, because it's important for us to understand that since COVID, India's macroeconomic performance has remained relatively strong and stable. And despite every year coming up with newer problems, we have managed the economy so that there are no severe shocks domestically. We faced COVID, then supply chain disruptions, Russia-Ukraine war, global inflation surge due to stimulus which has been given rampantly, debt crisis which emerged in the emerging markets particularly, trade wars, deglobalization trends, climate shocks, one after the other. And despite all that, we are able to maintain balance within our economy. And now the Middle East crisis has also come up with newer challenge. So, मैं सभी मेंबर्स के लिए ये बात बोलना चाहिए, जब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आत्मनिर्भर भारत का एकदम सभी सेगमेंट्स में आत्मनिर्भर भारत का विषय उठाए और पॉलिसीज भी ऐसे प्लान किए कि हम हमारी बेसिक नेसेसिटीज को क्यों ना उत्पादन भारत में ही करें, इसके प्रभाव के कारण we are able to stand up and meet crisis like situation in some segments of our economy. Whilst I go further, I'll expand on that a bit more. So the position of Indian economy is what gives us the strength to meet these unforeseen problems. And together with this, the central government's capital outlay has increased 4.2 times from 2.63 lakh crores in 2017-18 to 12.20 lakh crores in 26-27. As a result, the pickup of the economy is happening because government is very clear that we are going to get the benefit out of the multiplier effect when you spend money on capital expenditure. So we've kept that absolutely going upwards, and that has really shown the benefit for the Indian economy to sustain the growth momentum. So a lot of members spoke about LPG crisis. How are we managing? Are we doing anything at all to manage it? The Petroleum Natural Gas Minister has spoken about it. I don't want to elaborate on it, but just to reassure, nearly 65% of all our LPG is imported, and overwhelmingly majority of it, 90% of the 65% comes from Strait of Hormuz. And as a result, there are speculations about will we get it, will we not. But there are enough and more reports in the public domain as to how we are ensuring steady flow even in these turbulent times. So, but we are not just depending on getting the steady flow even in troubled waters. The way in which we have built our power sector today stands as a very big support for us, because Atmanirbhar Bharat and sufficiency in energy through our power sector is actually playing out in very many different ways in supporting us. The installed generation capacity has more than doubled since 2014. There are no energy shortages now. You may think that when I'm talking about LPG, why should I bring this point? It is important for us to understand, sir. Similarly, even in energy, gas, LPG sector, we have been building up capacities, and even at this time, the way in which we have ramped up domestic capacity in LPG is also coming of help now. On 8th March 2026, just 2 weeks ago, the government directed refineries and petrochemical complexes to maximize LPG production by diverting propane, butane, and propylene and butane's streams to the LPG pool. As a result, domestically also, we are ramping up capacities to supply LPG, and domestic LPG production going up about 25% approximately. The entire output of this ramped up capacity is going for domestic consumers. So to ensure that households don't suffer, not only are we ensuring steady streams of the shipping lines coming in, but domestically also we've ramped up capacity for production of LPG, diverting from production of other hydrocarbon materials to LPG production, and as a result, domestic supplies will be adequately streamlined, and the supplies will remain steady. This is also because we have this Atmanirbharta governing every sector, not just electricity production, but also LPG production. So the ability to ramp up LPG, domestic LPG production by 25% literally overnight, and the availability of alternative energy sources, the reduced share of fossil fuels in the overall energy mix, these have not happened by an accident. A steady policy backed up approach by Government of India has actually resulted in us being able to suddenly improve on something so that any situation which requires that additional support can happen. So this Atmanirbhar Bharat has actually been done in various segments that today all of them are standing by us. So it is an outcome of a deliberate, decade-long energy transition strategy launched by Honorable Prime Minister even in 2014. I just want to say nothing is a standalone. Everything in this policy seems to come together. In the name of Atmanirbhar, we are able to build up and meet up emergency situations. Sir, it won't be inappropriate for me to add up also to say how our electricity production is, as per Atmanirbhar Bharat, going ahead of schedule. By January 2026, sir, total installed capacity has more than doubled to 520.5 gigawatts. Non-fossil sources now stand at 271.97 gigawatts, accounting for more than 52% of total capacity and surpassing fossil fuel capacity of 248.5 gigawatts. For the first time in India's history, non-fossil sources exceed fossil fuel capacity. It's a remarkable position to reach. Non-fossil capacity से ज़्यादा non-fossil fuel अभी fossil fuel से ज़्यादा capacity हमारे पास है. ये 5 साल ahead of schedule और 5 साल के बाद जो अचीव करना था डेडलाइन हम अभी ही अचीव कर दिए. And therefore it's a very remarkable thing, because all the more climate finance debates में विदेशों से पैसा आना चाहिए, पैसा के लिए मांग होता है, विदेश से पैसा नहीं आया इसीलिए हम आगे बढ़ नहीं पा रहे, ऐसे बहुत सारे सुनने में आता है. मगर भारत देश में विदेश से पैसा आया है नहीं आया है इसको परवाह ना करते हुए, वो चर्चा अलग है, हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. आज हम नॉन फॉसिल मतलब रिन्यूएबल ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं फॉसिल फ्यूल से कंपेयर करते हुए. इसीलिए हमारे ये 5 साल पहले की ही ये अचीवमेंट हम सब ध्यान में लेना चाहिए और हमारे देश के लिए ये सराहनीय काम है. पूरे देश इसमें भाग ले रहा है, इसका हम सांसद के नाते वी शुड बी एबल टू अप्रिशिएट इट. पर्टिकुलरली 2025 सर, हाईएस्ट एवर रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी एक्सपेंशन भारत देश में हुआ है. Record 44.51 gigawatt of renewable capacity was added during the year only till November. I'm not even talking about December, January. Within November, we have added 44.51 gigawatts, nearly doubling the 24.72 gigawatt capacity that was added during the same period in the previous year. So double the capacity हम बढ़ा रहे हैं, इस स्पीड में हम जा रहे हैं. और as per the IRENA renewable energy statistics, sir, which was released in 2025, India ranks third in solar power installed capacity. दुनिया में सबसे थर्ड पोजीशन में भारत देश है, और विंड पावर में फोर्थ पोजीशन में है, एंड फोर्थ पोजीशन ऑल्सो इन टोटल रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी. ये हमारी ही अपना मेहनत में, हमारी अपना पैसा के साथ 5 साल पहले ये अचीवमेंट हम हमारे देश का आत्मनिर्भरता बढ़ाने में कैसे आगे आया है, इसका एक चित्र है. और कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन के वजह से पर कैपिटा और पर यूनिट कॉस्ट भी कम हो रहा है. मैं सिर्फ डेटा आपके सामने रखना चाहती हूँ. नेशनल सोलर मिशन 2010 में फर्स्ट टाइम टेंडरिंग हुआ है फर्स्ट सोलर प्रोजेक्ट्स का. एवरेज टैरिफ उस समय 12.16 पर किलोवाट रुपी 12.16 per kWh था सर. By 2014, it has fallen to 6.17 per kWh, kilowatt hour. Today, solar power costs only 2.15 per unit, sir. 89% decline in cost. ज़्यादा कंपटीशन, ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेशन के कारण आज सोलर पावर भारत देश में पूरे दुनिया को कंपेयर करते हुए सबसे लोवेस्ट रेट को हम पहुंचे हैं. 89% decline from 2010 when the first tendering happened till today. बैटरी स्टोरेज में भी हमारे कॉस्ट 2.70 पर यूनिट में है. सो सस्ते भी हो रही हैं रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के द्वारा हमारी पावर. So I'm not going through various steps which have been taken for want of time. Suryagar Muft Bijli Yojana has made a lot of different 1 crore household तक हम इंस्टॉल करने के लिए मेहनत कर रहे हैं. 2 years के अंदर 55.62 lakh applications have been received. 21.43 lakh households have installed rooftop solar systems, and government has disbursed more than 14,771 crore as subsidy. So इसका प्रमोट करने के लिए भी सरकार भी अधिक से अधिक सब्सिडी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रही है. A similar picture can be obtained, sir, about our economy, because this is important to understand where the strength of Bharat comes from, and self-sufficiency in these areas is providing us the confidence. India has achieved its nationally determined contribution, sir, of the target of 50% cumulative non-fossil electric capacity, nearly 5 years ahead, as I said. So, all with our own resources. Non-fossil capacity 2014 में 32% था, अभी 52.57% as of February 2026. सर, क्योंकि इकोनॉमी के ऊपर बहुत प्रश्न उठा है, मैं एक विषय बोलना चाह रही हूँ थोड़ा विस्तार से. आजकल चर्चा हो रही है और एक्सपर्ट्स, इकोनॉमी को ऑब्जर्व करने वाले एक्सपर्ट्स बोलते हैं कि न्यू डेटा सीरीज आ गए, जीडीपी न्यू सीरीज, एंड आफ्टर द न्यू सीरीज हैज कम द स्टडी ऑफ the GDP growth. Some people do say that what's being said now probably is not it, it will be probably lesser than what is being given now. And whereas earlier times, the growth which was being shown as GDP growth will probably have to be higher than what it was, even bettering what has been given to us all this while. So, for a minute, that is between 2004-5 to 2011-12, the growth numbers about which we often hear, it was very good, you have not matched it till now. I'm taking this opportunity to, for a minute, assume that it was better. Sir. I want to highlight a few things to say, even with the new GDP series, even if with some few economists observing that the GDP growth would have been better, even then, given the numbers, the number would be better, given the new methodology and so on. I want to highlight, sir, the massive hidden borrowing programs of the UPA then can never be forgotten, sir. Why am I remembering that now? Because many of the borrowings of those days are being cleared by us now. Of course, borrowing by one government will have to be cleared later, but they were not shown in the budget. Had they only shown it in their budget, their fiscal deficit numbers would have been completely different. The growth projection numbers and then later on, the real growth figures which have been shown also wouldn't have been that much if only their budget processing were transparent. If many of the extra borrowing, budgetary borrowings, had been shown then rather than showing it in something else. The context in which I'm saying this is only recently, in fact this month, we would be clearing up all the oil bonds which were issued by the UPA government. Had that been done then itself in your budget, even with the new growth series resulting in a higher number for that period, for everybody to speak about that time was better, you have not reached that. No, that time was made to appear better because many of their borrowing had not been shown in their books. It was shown in somebody else's books. I'll give you the data, sir. Between 2004 and 5 and 2009 and 10, 2004-5 to 9-10, UPA government had issued oil bonds to the oil marketing companies amounting to 1.48 lakh crores in lieu of the cash subsidy on petroleum products. They didn't show it in their budget. These were off budget. The bonds carried 7 to 8.4% interest rates. As a result, the fiscal deficit during those years would have been significantly higher than the reported numbers had they only shown it. Assuming the UPA included various off-budget borrowings, so oil bonds, Food Corporation of India, fertilizer bonds, if they had all shown it in their budget during that period, in 2008-9, the fiscal deficit would actually be at 7.9% rather than 6.1%, which they had shown of the GDP shown officially. They showed 6.1, but had they only shown these three, minimum three that I'm talking about, oil bonds, FCI, and also the fertilizer, had they shown it in their budget, their deficit would have been 7.9. Similarly, the revenue deficit would have been 6.3% in reality rather than the 4.6% that they showed. So they showed it all rosy, and now there are some of their own sympathizers looking at data and saying, no, it would have been better. I would suggest to these economists who are trying to whitewash that number then, please reconcile with the three bonds which were issued, off-budget borrowings which were issued. So the economy today, sir, is far better than the rosy days which were being shown, because the whitewashing of the accounts, whitewashing of the budget with all the extra budgetary borrowing in somebody else's books. We don't, under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, do any of these hanky-pankies. Our budget is absolutely, it says what it says. And therefore, the growth numbers, even with the new, would be what it is now as it is being shown, rather than what it has been claimed like the earlier ones. So I want to make this absolutely clear. And the context in which I'm bringing this in this supplementary demand for grants discussion is because in 2014 we inherited 1.34 lakh crore as these oil bond related borrowings which were kept outside. The total interest paid on these bonds since 2007-8 is close to 1.7 lakh crores. By March 2026, मतलब अब के समय मार्च महीना में हम बात कर रहे हैं, our government has fully repaid the entire oil bond burden oil bond burden, a staggering 2.92 lakh crore in total, which is principal and interest. Imagine, sir, if this money was not spent on this, it would have gone for building India's future. Cleaning up of UPS mess, fiscal mess, has taken this away. Otherwise, we could have built more ports, more roads, given more hospitals, given more schools. I want to underline this fact only because even in the supplementary demand for grants, when I'm anticipating, in case we need more money, we bring in something as a fund, honorable members, some of them, particularly members Shakti Singh Gohil, questioned as to why there is a need to bring this. If only we managed our economy better. We managed not just our economy, but also the borrowing of the UPA government. And do I say this from a position of strength? Yes, I'm saying from a position of strength. Because during COVID, our fiscal deficit crossed 9%. But within 5 years, under Prime Minister Modi's guidance, we have brought that down to 4.4. Within 5 years, we are showing that. Whereas what you have shown is keeping everything outside of budget and leaving it to somebody else to pay it. And when the payment is happening by that somebody else or some other government, you even question that. You did something wrong. We, with transparent processes, are showing it. And you question that? Sir,